Fucked up. Look at the little baby. What is up, everybody, and welcome into the DNVR Nuggets pregame show. Do you guys not know how this goes? So you know, you do like an eagle thing. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up, because Voja is bringing the heat tonight. He's going to be giving us. He's going to make everybody so much money, and if he doesn't, you can complain about him directly.
Yes, at Medic Voice.
At Medic Voice Love. Guys, Friday night, DNVR bar.
Is it Friday?
It is Friday.
I didn't notice, Adam.
Sun is shining, and the Nuggets over in Utah to take on the Jazz. Jokic, Gobert. We got a lot, no shortage of excitement for tonight's game.
Well, you know, it's been Friday vibes since Monday for me, so I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to introduce the cast here because we have some new faces you might not know. Over here, I have Hunter Thompson.
That's right. That is me, Hunter S. Thompson.
Still alive, still going
kicking.
Strong. You can't kill that guy.
Looking good, too, if I do say so myself.
Over here, we have the world's foremost David Thompson expert, Patrick.
Learn your history. Read your history.
Would you say you know quite a bit about David Thompson?
I think David Thompson is the man that built the house that Joker now lives in.
Ooh, hot take, controversial take, but you know what? Okay, we'll go with it. And
Might have overstepped.
Over here on the far right, from Serbia, via Lincoln, host of the Nugget Serbia podcast, it's Voja.
Hello, everybody. Let's go. Friday night. DNVR is full.
DNVR is fullish.
We're ready for a winner's lounge afterwards, too.
I'm right. That's right, baby. What do you think your first time in here? I always ask people, how does it look compared to what you expected?
It's fine. I mean, the guys that kind of explained it with like all the ambulances and stuff going around Colfax. So like walking down, it kind of fit the bill. So
we try not to acknowledge the Colfax part.
No, I love the Colfax. I'm telling you, I love the Colfax part. I love that we're right
here.
here.
Love Belgrade. Then,
this is my first time in this bar, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
I've seen you guys so many times, but this is great. I'm just happy to be here. I have nothing to offer, but I'm here, and I'm excited. I've just got my passion.
None of us have anything to offer, but we do have a great game, and we're just going to talk about it. So Nuggets, Jazz, a whole bunch of players are out, Brendan.
That's correct. Do you want to start with Utah or Denver?
Utah.
Okay, let's start with Denver.
Less depressing.
Utah. That's what you asked for. Mike Conley's out, hamstring issue. Juwan Morgan is out. Donovan Mitchell, guys, still out. It's going to be another week.
The playoffs are in a week.
Azubuike out with an ankle. So that's it. All four of those guys are out for Utah. Obviously, Denver, usual suspects at this point. Barton, Morris, Dozier, Murray, all out still. Zeke Naji was questionable with an ankle injury, but I think he's active. I'll have to double-check that. Still waiting for starters, guys, but I would assume it's going to look like last time out.
What do you think of that, by the way? And it's interesting because tonight, Utah doesn't have their backcourt. But Denver, you would think like defensively, maybe it's not as important to have your elite defensive guards out there, which is great because Michael Porter's not a 2. Do you like this enormous starting lineup, Voja?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like last game it was overwhelming, and it kind of sucks because it's the Knicks, and you don't know like what kind of a measuring stick they are, and because we beat them last time when they were hot too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm willing to give another try. You know Malone's philosophy, like if you win and you win by like 30, so keep it going. I mean. And especially if they don't, like, who's going to be a problem? Royce O'Neal for Michael Porter, so at 2. So
Denver's own Royce O'Neal. Yeah, I don't know. It is fun. You're right, though. You made the important point. Malone's not going to change the lineup because it worked. Like they could win 8 in a row, and that's going to be the starting playoff lineup for them.
God.
Let me ask you this one. Vogt, do you think that I'm going to keep going away from you because I know that you don't know the Utah roster too intimately. But do you think that this game there's more Denver can learn or Utah can learn because they're both playing so shorthanded, or is this like a meaningless game?
I think it's kind of meaningless.
All right.
Does it matter? Like for Denver, layers 1 and 2, I think in a playoff series is how do we deal with Donovan Mitchell? Not just the primary assignment, but how are we playing behind that? And so without that, I don't know if this is super valuable data. However, and we'll get to this later in the show, Jokic versus Gobert, without either of their co-stars, maybe there's something to learn there.
Well, Gobert doesn't score. He just rolls to the rim, so for him it maybe doesn't matter as much.
Sure.
But Denver, of course, it's the engine, so that will be one of the big questions. Be honest, Patrick, when Jamal Murray went down, did you count off the Nuggets? Did you just write them off?
I didn't write them off. I think as, we got a shot at winning the title. Yeah, I just remember being, I know you guys were too, just crushed in that moment because I was watching that one live, and which I'm not always able to do for Denver games, and just that step, and I was just like, God. But I will say that I would not have expected, as many people may not have, that they would have gone on a tear.
But that's the thing.
Directly after that, it just impressed me that they kept everything rolling the way they did.
But that's why I ask it, because I'm just wondering if there's anything Denver can do that would get the only reason this game has any meaning, because I think Denver is probably almost certainly going to be the 4 seed. And so, what does it matter? They're not going to fall to 5. I don't think they're going to rise. So what does this matter? Maybe a little bit of a measuring stick. But the one thing I keep coming back to is maybe, just maybe, the Nuggets go on a roll, keep rolling like this, and people start to buy them as a playoff series. Is there anything they could do that would make you buy them and be like, you know what? Denver might be just fine.
At this point, honestly, I kind of buy it. Joker just keeps surprising me. You've been telling me from the very beginning.
Every day of your life.
Each time I think, you're right. He's really, really good. Then something else happens, and I'm like, he's better than I thought he was. So, I don't know. Maybe this is that moment where sometimes it takes being thrust into the fire in an unfortunate way before you hit that next level. Not that it's just him, but you hit that next level.
Voja, has the hype caught up to Jokic? Are we at an appropriate level of hype for him? Is this the first time? Because he was going to be the MVP.
Yeah. If I say, we caught up, how am I a good Serbian representative? No, it's never enough.
That's right.
It's always got to be higher.
It's the quote of the night.
Yeah. I actually think that's true, though.
T-shirt.
I know that I'm not just playing into it, but I do still feel like I'm like, nope, you're underselling him a little. He is the MVP, but more than that.
Well, especially when you have discussions around online of if it's the worst MVP in 35 years, or if it's 10 to 20 pound trophy MVP, or it's not 40 pound,
20.
That kind of stuff is with respect to Bill Simmons, he did a great job on that podcast, but it's what is the difference? Why isn't this one, when you have so many stars out, valued more than the rest of them? So I don't know.
So Denver right now is, I think, going to be the 4 seed. There's a chance they'll be the 3, but to me, let's talk about them as the 4 seed. So one of the things that does matter is if Denver beats Utah, the Phoenix then goes back up into the pole position for the first seed. And that's going to change probably a little bit going back. But I keep wondering, does Denver want, and this is where we get into the second segment, does Denver want Utah? Because for the last 2 years, we have really puffed out our chest. Nuggets own Utah. They're in their heads. But part of why I think that the Nuggets own Utah is because Jokic can do so many things, score from so many different positions. But the way you beat Utah is you run pick and roll, and you make Gobert look like an ogre trying to, on ice, trying to come out there. But now, who do you run the pick and roll with to make Gobert do that?
Yeah, I don't think they fear them, but there's a mental thing, I think, where, honestly, the Jazz could be the 1 seed, the Nuggets could be the 10 seed. You could flip that. If those two teams meet for a 7-game series, I feel like it's going 6 or 7 either way. But you're right that, tactically, just even before you get into Murray's transcendent talent, they're at a tactical disadvantage without him and without that 2-man.
But I think it's more important in the Utah series. Do you think so?
So what about, I don't know if they're afraid ever because of just the psychological advantage, but you said pick and roll is the key to victory. But what now if with this different identity, with their swarming to the ball and, defending everything well, and Utah, we know it's a good 3-point shooting team. What if that is now the new method to beat them, to just swarm and not ball is popping with them too, and it's I
think it's true that Denver is going to make it a lot more. I think Denver's going to guard them significantly better
this time around.
Yeah, that's why I think it might be a good game to learn something about ourselves, them about themselves, just based on what is clicking and how the defense is connected still, and against a team that runs a good enough scheme without even without their stars, like they can still like win games based on the Snyder's setup. So like if we do well enough on defense, maybe that's the stuff that we can put a pin in it, or like, hey, maybe this is something we keep in our back pocket for the playoffs, like Shaq and Austin and all these guys.
What's your impression? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you guys, how comfortable are you, Utah compared to whoever else right in the field, just because of that history and because of maybe that edge that you've got psychologically, regardless of any kind of matchup thing where you've gone to war and you've had hard-fought series, but come out on top. And,
I wanted Utah with Murray so bad. Like, I wanted that 5-game series where Denver, like, the last 2 games are just ass whoopings, and it's like, never. And honestly, I really think this with with Aaron Gordon and Murray and Michael Porter coming along. I think they smack him so bad that they trade Gobert. Like, I'm telling you, they lost in the first round so many times, and then if you get beat by Denver that bad and you're like the 1 seed, I think you're just like, look, guys, we can't do it. Like,
I was going to totally agree with you. Like, I just think they're going to smack them down. I didn't know you were going to go all the way to like.
Think about it. I'm not saying if they were the 1 seed this year and fully healthy, and they got into a second round series with Denver, Denver smacked them, I think they'd be like, look,
it's a tough moment.
We have a formula, but it's not. Right, what are we trying to do here? But as it is, David Locke, my boss over on Locked On, he put out some numbers today on his show talking about how much Jokic in the post versus Gobert. The numbers in the post, Gobert's really stifled him. And, like, I watch the games, don't feel that way. But, I do feel like he makes it hard for him, and there have been moments when he's done this or that. But, I do wonder if what Jokic has to do tonight. I think three-pointers are a big part of it. I think he needs to make 2 or 3 three-pointers. And I just wonder, tonight, I think he's going to have a lot of post-up opportunities against Gobert one-on-one.
Well, I just want to start here. Without Murray, the Jazz are tenfold more likely to just put Gobert on Jokic, right? Because remember, last time out, they actually didn't. And they've experimented with Gobert.
The ultimate punt. I'm telling you, this would be akin to if Jokic, they were like, hey, this game, a corner spacer. Like, you'd be like, wow, that's the ultimate show of we have no confidence in our team to score.
They experimented on that with Jokic. Obviously, with Favors back, it's a little easier. Yeah. And they've experimented with that throughout the season. So tonight, I would have to imagine without that pick and roll partner, they're a little more comfortable with Gobert straight up.
Do you like this matchup for Denver in the playoffs? And here's the other thing to think about. Mitchell's missed a lot. It's gonna be a Barton type situation for him where he's gonna come back and have to be at 100% right away.
I mean, I honestly don't I wouldn't want to see him just with how they're playing this year. I know it's like they have psychological advantage, but again, the players that do have a psychological advantage are mostly out. Right now, this roster is like Jokic and who, like even MPJ was like they were destroying him in like switches and stuff. So like it's Jokic, and which again is a big deal, but like Austin Rivers, Shaq Harrison, they haven't played last year, and they don't feel that even when they beat him by like when Jokic scored 47, that wasn't the team that is right now. So like I don't know. I mean from 1 and 2 seeds, like these Phoenix Suns and like Utah Jazz are the least feared probably in the recent years. So I don't think anyone would like be afraid of them, but like I still think they're. I mean, I believe in like what they can do like with their schemes. Again, with Mitchell gone, like maybe even for them that's a little bit good. Like so he doesn't solo through the entire playoffs and like stifle themselves like with that.
They kind of did. That's the underrated story of the playoffs last year is that Mitchell was everything until Denver kind of had a success against him and then they had no answer.
For sure.
There is one thing I'm really looking for tonight, and this is where this game is meaningful to me, not just the Jokic-Gobert matchup. The Jokic-Porter handoff game for mid-range jumper is unstoppable. They don't get to it too often. Tonight is a night that I think Gobert is going to sag into that paint, try to play drop, and there might be a lot of one dribble, pull up from the foul line, and jump. And I would love to see Porter tonight take 7 of those.
Yes.
Maybe 20. I don't know. How many?
That would be okay. Yeah.
And do the Jazz know that? And can Porter push through that? I think it was the Boston. Is it the Boston game where they just blew up every handoff and they just didn't really let Porter get to his spots? First team I've seen do that. Once Porter gets to his spot, it's done. But you can keep him from getting there. And so how will Utah approach it? And how does he fight through that?
Kind of intensity do you expect to see from Utah tonight? I'll ask you, Patrick. They're fighting for the 1 seed, but the funny thing is, we don't know who the 7 and 8 are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Honestly, it's not just this matchup. I feel like right now I don't know what to expect from any teams. Like, West, like 1 to 10, 1 to 12, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if people are going to be jockeying. You can't really predict, right? Because there's enough different moving pieces completely what's going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know.
Do you guys remember that scene in Game of Thrones? This was by the time, this was like late season, when they're out north of the wall and they're on the ice and they're surrounded by all the skeletons.
Right.
And do you remember this?
Yeah,
and
of
like
course.
they're just sitting there and they're trying to. This is kind of how I feel the 1 and 2 seed are. Is they're like everybody's just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
There's like a battle.
At some point,
but
somebody's going to throw a rock, and when they see that it stays on
everybody
the ice.
exactly, and everybody's just waiting. And I think Utah and Phoenix are like, we want the 1, the 2. Like we
Yeah.
don't want the
Yeah.
Lakers. I don't think. Like I don't even know who we're playing.
Well, that's the other thing is the Lakers throw such a wrench in this whole thing.
So
do,
much.
do you want the Lakers?
Yeah, who knows now?
I mean, from Denver, still no, just on principle.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for everyone else, who knows?
I've turned the corner on the Lakers, man.
Yeah.
Knock it on wood, but I'm turning the corner. They're going to get a tough team in the first round. If they get past it, maybe they'll be good again. But
They have
right now,
enough
I'm like,
time. Yeah, if they have
will I
enough
really
time to
pick
get
them
back.
against Utah or Phoenix if those teams? I don't think so, man.
I'm most scared of Utah right now.
Yeah, I think
most
so
scared of
too.
Utah.
Yeah, LA was
I hate
the
to say
scariest
that. I
for a
can't even
while.
say
but-
it. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, no. You know what? Utah's doing it the right way, whether we like their guys or not. It's not like co-signing like bad faith basketball.
Right.
No,
Right.
it's like honestly, it's more like in Gladiator when he shanks him and then puts the armor back on. It's like this is how we are. Like we just got shanked and now we have to go out there all hobbled, dying. We have to fight them.
That's kind of how it feels.
But
yeah.
you know what? He won.
That's true.
The Nuggets
He
win.
Won and he
then
died. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's the interesting.
That's your
Jokic
Gladiator
Gobert
reference
tonight.
for tonight.
I'll tell you what. I will have significantly more confidence tonight if Gobert guards Jokic and Jokic just murders him one-on-one in the
man.
post. Not even drawing fouls, but just keep him on the court. Just keep doing it. It'll be like, yeah, trade Gobert before
That
the
would be fun.
playoffs,
That
to
would
be
be
honest
fun.
with you. Let's play a game. Disapproval. This is where I ask you if you approve or disapprove of a certain thing. And first up,
Is this basketball related or is
it's
this
all
anything in
things.
life?
It's all. Well, first thing.
Okay.
Brendan Vogt's outfit.
I was just going to say, as you're outlining this game, suddenly I wish I hadn't worn the yellow
Throw the glasses on.
sunglasses
Throw the
today.
glasses
Yeah.
on. Let the people know. I feel like you have one too many buttons buttoned though. That's the only.
I don't, but
Wow.
Still a PG-13.
This guy. he sells the best.
I was on the
drugs.
fence until it was the manner in which you put on the glasses, and that's the same manner in which you wear the clothes. So I approve.
thanks, man.
Thanks. It's approval. That's something like I would never be able to pull off, and so I respect the people that can.
Neither can he though. That's the thing.
Well,
It's great.
Oh.
I was feeling like I was until then. I probably just shouldn't check the live chat in the next
So I
5
have
minutes.
I have
Yeah, definitely
the
don't read
Nuggets-
your own
I-
reviews.
I have the Denver bingo. Like Adam bullying someone is
That's
like
right.
There
Yeah.
you go.
the centerpiece.
There
So
we
like
go.
we're good to go.
Patrick, you're my friend. Am I a bully?
You occasionally tease hard, but I like it. I'm here for it.
All right. That
Here I
really
am.
hurt. You guys being
You
dishonest
can
about
say
me.
it.
Yeah.
You can
Wow.
say it.
This
You
is
know.
really effed up.
The chat is in big approval of votes.
Hell yeah. Hey.
Hey, there you go.
I approve
Thanks.
as well.
Thanks, man.
Approve.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta look. If you own it,
There it is.
that is what it is.
All right,
There it is.
can you roll the footage? I sent to you, Kale. We have an incredible highlight from last night's Nets game. One of the best closers in the league. We got Kyrie Irving here. Let's see what we got here. Here it is. Layup, air ball. Look at this thing
It's
again.
always possible
Did you
that
guys see
something
this?
goes
Look at
wrong, no matter how
Layup.
talented you are.
This is
Airballed
not real.
it.
How does
Not
this?
real.
It's moments like this that make me feel so much better about all the true embarrassments that
It's-
I've had for myself on a basketball
That
court.
is a like. I honestly don't think I've ever missed a shot that easy. It's wild. Look, Kyrie's
It's
so
crazy.
talented. He's one of the most skilled players ever, in my opinion.
But I'm telling you, if you go through just go in YouTube, go down that rabbit hole. There are so many players that have airballed a free throw that
Right,
aren't terrible
yeah.
free throw shooters.
Yeah.
Like I just think if you play this much, there's always that chance that something really ridiculous is going to happen
true.
that you can't explain. That is very embarrassing.
It's true.
And not that it's not
Boy,
funny.
have you ever
but-
airballed a free throw?
Free throw? No.
I don't think I have either. I'm trying to
I
think.
haven't either, but I'm just saying people that are better than me have
Yeah.
at shooting free throws have.
don't think I've
Also,
airballed a
terrible
left-handed
free throw shooters have
A
too.
left hand. Well, I would
don't think
airball a
I've
lefty
airballed that
one.
one either. So I don't know.
Anyway, I approve. I approve of Kyrie.
I approve of that.
I approve the airball. Not
Do you
the Kyrie.
approve of ESPN's decision to take the Nuggets off of ESPN tonight and replace it with Lakers Blazers? Now, to set the table here, we just talked about the stakes of this game for Nuggets and Utah, not that high. The stakes for Lakers Blazers, incredibly high.
All right, I'm gonna big brain this.
Big brain it. Galaxy brain it.
Utah and Denver. You know what the national basketball audience has shown about themselves? They don't deserve this.
They don't deserve. Oh, I like
If
this.
it's just for the regional folks, so be it.
I
Those that
love
have earned
it.
it, those that
Yeah.
have watched these teams through thick and thin. And you know what? Having watched the Nuggets on national TV for 3 years now, I'm good when they don't
They
do that.
suck on national TV.
That's fine with me.
I like this that you're taking it away from the public. Like, you haven't earned to watch Jokic.
I know. I've been here for like 3 years.
The same confidence that allows you to put those glasses
That's
on the way
right.
I talked about is what allows you to say these things.
Patrick is from LA. He's not a Lakers fan, though. He's a Nuggets fan, to be honest, by proxy.
I am.
Do you approve of ESPN flexing out the Nuggets Jazz?
I do not approve simply because, okay, the stakes are high for the Lakers. Who cares? You can check the score for the Lakers. Look, we can all follow that. We have our phones. We've got our smartphones, and I'm not capable of big braining anything, but that's what I think.
Lakers
great
Clippers,
take.
by the way, was the marquee game last night. Horrible game. Unwatchable.
Yeah.
Unwatchable. Completely unwatchable.
Terrible.
So
I will go with yours, and you know what national audiences do deserve is to see the Lakers fail.
that's right.
Miserably
Again.
twice in a row.
Oh, man.
In the
Flamethrowers.
same week.
know.
And
Throwing
against
fire.
Portland, too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Fire.
To Norman Powell.
I think this one right here is going to be unanimous, guys. NBA's voting, all-star voting, or all-NBA voting. It's always been, through history, the history of the NBA, there's been 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. Last year, Jokic, second team All-NBA. Why? Because Anthony Davis, who doesn't even play center, gets to be first team All-Center. He doesn't even play it, but he gets to be it. This year, Jokic going to win an MVP. What do? Embiid. He's a forward. He's not. He's never, ever, once in his life has played the forward position, but do we approve or disapprove of this chicanery, Patrick?
We disapprove, but this is not a surprise. They always make up. They make up
Yeah.
whatever rule. Look, the Oscars will put a best actor and a best supporting actor role if they're going to lose. You know,
They'll
the
move.
best
Oh, yeah,
actor.
it's like clearly the lead
It's
actor.
not just basketball. It's like, oh yeah, he was supporting in that role, right? It's like they've always made up the rules as they go along, and
That's so
they do it in
funny.
basketball too. But disapprove.
The movie's called Good Will Hunting, and Will Hunting's a supporting actor in that? Like, what is going on here? Pretty sure it's about him. What do you think,
I
Boy?
mean, disapprove all the way. Like, especially with guys like, you see like all the other ones too. It's like LeBron is a guard all of a sudden.
Yeah, LeBron's a guard.
Because of forward.
That one you could almost make
LeBron's
sense.
more. Yeah, that's
But
much
then-
bigger buy than.
But then
Embiid.
Jokic is also forward then because he plays on the perimeter. Like, you know,
Yeah.
But
He
he's
could be
not.
a guard. It'd
I was
be the
gonna say
best.
you could put.
yeah.
If
Put him
Jokic-
at point guard.
It'd be so great if he got in as a guard.
Get Gobert and Embiid like as a center power forward.
I know they've like wavered on going in this direction or not, but like, can't it just be who were the 5 best players?
That's what I was going to say. Have we ever been in a more positionless, like the way the game is
Right.
going? I mean, if you compare to 20 years ago and so on and so forth, I mean, even Jokic is a great example of this. Like, if at a certain point everybody is moving around enough and they're doing enough
Right.
different things as they get more and more talented, more and more versatile, that I don't know that they're not moving that way. I've heard that brought up a bunch, like
Right.
5 best guys.
That said, Jokic and Embiid are centers.
Right, no, for
are
sure,
Centers,
for
but
sure.
I'm with it generally.
I do just think that anytime, as much as the logic of of these arguments makes sense, there's just such a long tradition of what the first team All NBA has
Yeah, yeah.
meant, and like Simmons made this point today, but like Wilt and Russell had to split that every year. They had to
Right,
split who
for
was
sure.
going to be, and now it's just like we'll give it to both of them. It's a little lame. Also, what a great thing it is. We'll have this era, and it'll be like Embiid, Jokic. How many first team NBAs did Embiid have? How many? Like becomes like a little bit of a measuring
For sure,
thing,
yeah.
and now it's like, oh, they both got it every year in positions they never once played.
Yeah, and positionless is also different than moving one person to a position in order to, you know what I mean? Like we just talked about changing
yeah.
the whole thing, not being
Yeah.
like, all right, let's move this one piece.
Exactly.
So
Last one here. Nick Wright has obviously been the D story online. He won, guys. We all gave him the attention he so desperately wanted, and he won. Jamal Murray has been on Twitter defending Jokic's honor, defending his honor, quote tweeting to dunk on Nick Wright. When, by the way, Nick wrong. The lowest hanging fruit. The lowest hanging fruit. Like,
yeah, but I also like that everyone just took it.
Oh, yeah, we're like,
it
you know
was
what, doesn't even
you want
matter.
Low, you want? I want the low one.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
do you approve, Voja, of Jamal Murray's defense of his guy?
I mean, it's Jokic. Whoever defends Jokic is an honorary Serbian. Like immediately, like my friends and I were like, "What a brother!" Like you got,
Yeah.
Especially in these stories on Instagram and his like just normal fonts of like me and the MVP, and like keep pictures of them, and you're like, that's delays that conspiracy theory that like Jamal is jealous of Jokic because he's a first star. Like no, like they're brothers. Like it's
Yeah.
over.
Also, I could see it if you were closer. You know what I mean? But it's like so clear that Jokic is the MVP. You know, it's not even a Kobe Shaq situation, which was not what you have. You know, you have a Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, which is a great duo, but it's all right. We know this is Duncan's show. Do you approve?
Prove all the way around, and also just nice to see a Denver Nugget online. We get so little of that. I have Paul Millsap on notifications right now just to get something. So
It's so true, man. They are not a very interesting online team.
No, they are not. Paul Millsap,
I don't care, though.
He's been on like a heater for not.
He has
real
been on a
dad
heater,
tweets,
man.
yeah.
Oh, my God. You know who he reminds me on Twitter? Do you remember when Jerry Rice was on Twitter? He might still be. I don't know. But he had some, like, it's the same thing where his tweets are, like, run-on sentences that are, like, dad joke.
Was it like the Magic Johnson tweet?
It is almost like that.
Great game tonight. Wow.
Hey, guys, I'm coming out of football. Just kidding. April Fools. How's everybody's day? And you're just like, you're like, what?
My favorite was he said his son calls him dog water when he tries to play his video games, which apparently means bad. I love it. I'm calling people
Dog water?
Yeah, it's
Wow. Do you approve of this Murray Jokic?
Of course. Who wouldn't approve? What fan wouldn't want to see that? You know, that's what you want. So
I just want better trash talk from Murray. Look, I think Murray looks like he's a good trash talker. I mean, he's on the court. You see him yelling stuff. I just like spend an extra 5 minutes coming up with a really good bird instead of Nick
I
Wrong.
always wonder how many of the guys who have that confidence, right, the unwavering confidence, but does that always translate into the trash talk arena? Because that's sometimes you can have one and not necessarily be the great trash talker, but who knows?
You're a big Jordan guy. What would Jordan be like if he had a Twitter game?
I feel like if Jordan was on Twitter, it'd be a bad thing, and it would just sink the legacy. I don't think he'd be putting out
cross like too many lines,
too many pats on the back. You know, to people today would mostly be like, "I'd kick his ass." Like that would mostly be what.
Wouldn't every Jordan tweet be like the free throw with his eyes closed, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
He just keep tweeting out clips of himself.
Jordan,
did you guys see this highlight of myself?
Jordan might be maybe more like Paul Pierce on Instagram, if we're being honest.
I think it's a higher probability of that than what we'd all love to see. So
all right.
maybe it's going to be staying off.
Vegas.
All right, well, that was disapproval. It's time for everybody to make some money. Voya's going to help with that.
Oh, my God.
As is Brendan Vogt. As we open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app and we place our wagers. Wi-Fi a little slow again today. What's going on here, Wi-Fi?
All right, well, I'll give you. We'll start with the fun one because we like to root for overs on this show when we can.
Ooh, you're going to take it over?
Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, over. There we go.
2.5 threes.
Okay.
I'm going over, folks. I'm going over.
I like that.
Let me go in the other direction, though. We've talked about this off the air. Michael Porter Jr. rebounds. Since Murray went down, Porter's not quite the same rebounder he was to start the year. So his lines, though, it's still at 7.5 for Porter on rebounds.
Man, 7.5. There's going to be a lot of bricks tonight.
There's going to be a lot. I think I'm going to take the under on that. If he's shooting guard, too. And it's the same starters, by the way. We did have that release. I should have said something. So.
I think that's a good bet. You know what? Am I too late on this? I'm gonna stay away. I think it's a good bet, though.
You guys should have a rule, like no unders. Like, what are you?
Well, you gotta make money, man.
Come on.
I will tell you the over I am taking, though. Jokic is at 1.5 threes. I think this is a game with a very muddy paint. I think hitting threes is very important. I think he's going to take them early, and I think he'll hit 2. I think Jokic over 2 threes, and there's good value. It's pretty much even value on it.
I like
that one a lot.
First 2 minutes, or
I mean, really, like I do think he takes
So-
at least 2 or 3 in the first quarter. So if they don't in the first quarter, then
did he shoot like 10 in one of the playoff games? Like he can.
Yeah, he did. He did take a lot
because when he saw that they collapsed. So
and I think Utah's going to live with that. Honestly, tonight, I
Yeah.
think they're like. I mean, even him making them. I think the value of Jokic making threes tonight is going to be in him scoring points, not in him drawing out Gobert, because I think Gobert's going to sit.
And also, guys, just the money line. I mean, the Nuggets don't have the Jazz don't have their stars, and the Nuggets still have Jokic, their star, I should say, singular. So, I mean, look, it's not a cakewalk, but you just got to feel confident anytime a team is down arguably their best player, and the Nuggets still have Jokic. So,
can I pull a Dev and ask if Clarkson's on that line?
That's a great, the honorary Dev pick of the night.
He is not on here. They did not give a Clarkson line.
Conley and Mitchell are not playing.
It's pretty limited, man.
Correct.
All right, here's a crazy one for you guys. Aaron Gordon, 9.5 points. Single digits. 9.5. He had 0 last game.
Under. No, over. Sorry. Let's go over. Everything over.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's got one. He's got to score one of these games. One of these days he's gonna go.
I don't know if it's tonight, though, man.
That's true. Gobert's in there, but
I don't know if it's tonight. Another one that's been interesting lately has been to track Campazzo. His assist tonight. Here's how we'll play this one. Voya, how many assists is Campazzo going to get tonight?
7.
The line is 4.5.
Oh,
Wow.
I think we go over.
going
Haven't
over.
Caught up with that.
I think you
going
go
over.
over.
I think we're
you
going
go
over on
that one.
composite
Plus, we never bet on
assists.
Facu, so shout out Argentina. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Does this game have a little the 7 energy?
Yes. It's been
Yeah.
that for a month.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is Utah's also banged up, but yeah, that's a good point. It's been the 7 for a month.
All right, who's the leading scorer tonight?
For
I like
all
this one.
All game or just
For the entire game.
Jokic.
Clarkson?
Clarkson?
I
He's
hate
not
him
even on
so
the board. You can't even get that one.
Well, Jokic then.
Jokic, then Michael Porter, number 2, then Bojan Bogdanovic, number 3. Man, I kind of like Porter tonight.
Is there a Facu rebound?
I'm taking a
line?
Porter. I like the line on Porter. I'm going to take it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me see if there's a Facu rebound. I would
That's-
love to bet a Facu rebound.
Over on Facu
Are you
rebounds
kidding?
sounds like the peak
Oh,
of
it's
basketball
3.5. Oh, let's go, baby. 3.5 rebound. I can't believe we are
There's
standing
just
the
less a
Tidy
suggestion and more a requirement.
requirement. You've got to
Over.
bet 3.5. You
Over.
can do that.
Do we have starting lineups?
We
Like
do.
Who's guard? Like, so who's MPJ gonna be matched up against?
Well, let me check Utah's starting lineup. I just know that Denver's the same. It's going to be
okay.
Porter at the 2.
Well, we actually.
like that's the thing is like you wonder with Bojan and like if it's MPJ and Bojan, then Bojan might go off or like.
Who's going to guard him anyway? Ingles? He's too tall, man.
No, I mean like
Favors?
for the Utah, like you said, Bojan was one of the high scorers.
Oh, I
offered, so,
see.
like, he
Oh,
might-
whoever he's guarding, you think you want to take a high score?
I mean, a lot of times that's the correlation.
yeah, there's a correlation, I suppose.
Didn't find it.
Can't find it. All right, well, that's it. Anyway, it's game time, guys. We get to go watch this game. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to be Friday night. Post-game
when I get
shows,
to.
always the best. We'll see you right after the game.